Yeah.
I was about to say something.
What?
Give me
No.
Don't do that.
All right, we ready?
Somebody. And
Did you hear what he
started. Somebody farted.
Somebody.
Somebody.
We ready? How y'all feeling?
I can't stand you. I can't.
I'm just playing. Mikey, how you feeling, boy?
Hey,
Come on. Hey, what you call that outfit, man? You looking very, you know what I'm saying, very smooth. You know what I'm saying? Very local. Very latte.
And colada.
He said, call me Peanut
and colada.
Hey.
That's mango.
Hey.
That's sleepy.
Hey.
That's sleepy.
You call it sleepy?
Sleepy.
How you feeling, boy? You feeling good?
Bro, I feel like I weigh less than I do.
Okay. Hey. Hope my couch don't feel the same. No.
Oh, wait, it's moving.
No.
Jeremy.
No. You.
No.
I shouldn't have co-signed.
Accountability.
Ooh.
All right, this gonna go left.
Who took the sun out? The sky. I feel all shade.
Let's cue the intro music. I love it, man. So I want to kind of talk about, comparisons. Some people have such negative connotations to, comparisons. And I used to get frustrated whenever I get on flights and they'd be like, yo, you know who you remind me of? And I'd be like, oh my God. And they'd be like, Boris Kojo. You get that all the time, don't you? And I'd be like, sometimes. And I used to get frustrated, but I get it because it's the energy.
Yeah.
It's the energy that comes with him.
That's what happens?
Yeah. And so... But I want people to be like, bro, you remind me of like you in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't.
Like, are you Jeremy?
Because Boris is disrespectful to you.
No, it's not that it's disrespectful. I mean, he a handsome dude, you know what I'm saying? But just because we light skinned and bald head with a goatee, like, don't, and what's the other dude name?
Don't ask me.
Don't, bro, you know.
I don't know. The Muppets?
Shamar Moore. I just be like, come on, man.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more to me than just, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. Yeah,
I get it.
I get it.
No, I on a serious note, who you get, Mike?
LeBron James. You think I'm joking too?
Wait.
Nobody.
I promise. Y'all think I'm joking?
Nobody says you look like.
I promise. 8 out of 10
There's not
people.
one human that's ever told you that you look like LeBron James.
So are you calling me a liar? Or are you telling me that you don't believe what they're telling me?
I think that they just know that you're a deep LeBron James fan because you're a fan of greatness.
People that come on my plane have never met me, Jeremy.
They literally look at you and say, man, you look like LeBron James.
Jeremy, all I know is what I hear and what I respond to. I don't know what they thought about before they mouthed it. I don't know what you're trying to do in creating doubt in our viewers.
How many people was that?
I haven't seen
I don't
it.
know. Most people.
I'll give you ghosts.
He said most people.
If I'm keeping it 100, I don't see the same thing. But a lot of people, no disrespect to our Caucasian listeners, but I think sometimes black people have a stereotype of saying white people look alike. Sometimes white people have a stereotype of saying black people look alike. Now, to another black person, like, Mike, you don't look like no LeBron James.
Are you wearing hats when you on these planes? You're not wearing hats?
What is going on?
Because he wears the beanies, bro. I just saw a picture on the gram where he had a dope trench coat.
But have you seen a flight attendant on all of your flights every day you travel?
I didn't know they were on planes, bro. I didn't know if you was like walking in the mall or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The mall, on the airport.
Yeah.
No, that's all good. I want to understand who's paying attention and who's not at this point.
Yeah.
I said flight attendant. I said
thought
at
about
work,
that
Jay.
too. But then I said he's not wearing that at work.
But if you get that, but the deeper picture is we talking about, who do you get? Did people ever hit you with your mom? Okay, so here's your question. Do you compare yourself to people?
Like,
what?
Looks wise? Like,
no, just period. Do you find
nobody
yourself?
Tell you look like nobody?
That's a deeper conversation.
Here we go with this again.
I'm just asking.
We had this. Mike brought this
I didn't
up.
know. I'm just asking who people say. It ain't about me. This is your moment.
Stop. We had this episode already. We had this. Anyway, no. Like, I mean, people say different people throughout the seasons. Depends on whoever is light skinned with curly hair in the moment. That's really it.
See? So the same thing I'm saying.
That's it.
Big dude with a beard. Bro, that's all.
That's it. And it's a strong beard too, my boy.
Yeah, you so loyal.
Oh, you already know. You know I'm a fan, bro. Now, here's the thing. So the deeper conversation, y'all, we're not really on like, celebrity lookalikes, you know what I'm saying? We really on comparison. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I feel like comparison can be a cage. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and you know what's the quote that says that comparison is the stealer of joy or something like that? When you're comparing yourself to other people, like, do you find yourself? Joy, yep.
Huh? Comparison is the thief of joy.
Do you find yourself ever comparing yourself to others, whether it's on social media, somebody you know, somebody in the industry you in, or just period?
You know what? Yeah, actually.
Thank you. I was hoping you weren't going to cap and be like, no, I don't compare myself with anyone. I'm about to be like, you lie. No.
Especially during the pandemic when everybody was making those TikToks with they significant other. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dang, like, I should do that. And then Charlie was like, nah. He was like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, well, why you can't do TikToks? Like, why we can't do TikTok together? And he was like, Crystal, it has to just be natural. So I was like, all right, fine. And so I was like feeling some type of way because I said, look, I got all the dance moves. I need to be on this over here doing these little couple dances. But
Does he dance?
I had to. No.
So what you doing?
Not dance.
So what you trying to do?
Listen, it was just for fun.
That's what everybody who enjoys what they're doing says to the person that's uncomfortable. It'll be fun.
Crickets.
For me.
Right. So I'm saying, so besides that,
yes.
Come on.
I think in career sometimes, it's like I look at other people and I'm like, look, you ain't got it, but you put in the work, you put in the time. But I know that what I have to offer is likely a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit greater than what you have to offer. And why isn't it that?
So you're better than them.
He ain't about to have me speaking in tongues. I think my potential is different in a way. You have a
higher level. You have a higher ceiling than them.
He's trying to get me.
He trying to get you to be real, Crystal. Embrace this.
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like I could do things better than they have done it. Yes. But I just feel like I haven't necessarily had the time there to be able to do that. And so I look at their way of structure and I'm like, this is not it. But I have to kind of embrace the fact that they have more sweat equity than I do. And that's troubling sometimes because I'm like, you really don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
Mike, you ever find yourself comparing yourself to others?
I compare myself to others for balance.
Explain.
I do it as a ritual.
You do it intentionally?
Absolutely. To gauge where I'm at. You said cap?
Yeah. Explain.
Watch this. So let's use you for example. You are I'm not saying that, you're conscientious of it. I'm saying you're intentionally saying, how do I measure up? Like you go into situations comparing. You're just talking about in period.
Just period. Whether it's social media, whether it's in life, somebody just comparison as a whole.
Okay. So we talking about on the surface level. So
all levels. But when you told me just now, like, oh yeah, I do it intentionally to balance myself out.
And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking on a higher level. So if I'm going real basic.
Oh, I'm surfing. I'm basic.
No, I'm saying you was putting me at a basic level into saying my cap, but I was thinking on an intentional level, which is what I do.
Break it down.
So when it comes to me comparing myself, I compare myself in terms of where I am and where I want to go, right?
Okay.
So there are intentional people that I follow in certain spaces to determine what's the difference of what they're doing, what I'm doing, what they've done, what I haven't, what I've done that maybe someone else hasn't done, and trying to compare all of those things together, right? So for you, you're the highest speaker that I know that I'm close to. But I also have other speakers that I look at. I look at different habits and things that you all do, and I look at myself who wants to be in this space, and I'm like, okay, what am I not doing, or what are they doing that they're here and I haven't been put in this situation yet? When I do that, I have to start breaking down, because at the end of the day, when I look at myself and I look at other speakers, I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like that's a gift that God has given me. I have no doubt about the gift or calling that God has put on my life. But you have to start breaking down the comparison of what it is that separates us as individuals. I've learned so much about myself when I started comparing and started breaking down, dissecting what it is that separates.
I gotta take the hat back.
Okay.
You like I did that? Get it? I call cap and I gotta take it. Yeah,
I caught it as you were explaining.
It's okay, my boy. I got you.
I'm with you.
The same way you took you a
This
minute to
podcast
get
is
that.
for turtles too. Slow people need love.
As long as I'm Michelangelo, but boy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he
you
wants to
know
cook.
what I'm
Well, I can be
saying?
Raphael.
You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? Little Donatello
So you want him to
with
go?
his-
Which
you know
one
what
him
I'm
to do?
You crazy, boy. All right, so look, stay focused. They might have missed it and they were supposed to. Don't highlight it, okay? So look, I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I believe that I am also intentional about comparison.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you set me up.
Not
Well,
really.
here's
I
the
just
thing.
wanted,
You want me to prove
I just
it.
wanted to, yeah, I wanted to see.
Nah. We gotta go around because we doing the kumbaya right now. We gotta go back to the downside of the comparison, and then we go back to the upside.
I thought we just go to your I thought we were just going to your position on comparison.
Well, that wasn't my whole position on comparison.
Oh.
That was just the downside in which the question was asked.
Oh, did he say a downside way? I thought it was neutral.
Have you ever compared yourself to somebody
And I
else?
did.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think you chose.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, we're gonna get to that. So right now we haven't necessarily. So you're saying, come on, y'all gotta include me on the convo. Y'all can't be having a little side whisper fits.
That was for the podcast, Jay. Don't be jealous. That
but
was
I
for our
can't hear.
viewers.
I need headphones.
Sean,
bro.
okay, just Jay, you can't do it all.
You know,
okay?
he always
Enjoy
gotta
this
be
space with
in
me.
everything.
I'm trying to, but y'all not including me.
Jay, you started off this episode talking about me and the couch. The couch laughed at me. Jay, the couch enjoyed the joke more than I did.
And when you pop like that, like literally, you know how the little center part open up?
You see?
No, I'm not saying that.
Jay, I owe you. That's two. No. We're going to start off with two today.
They don't even,
All right.
in the listener world, in listener
two.
world, in viewer world, they can't even really see it because I see the angle. All right, so let me get right back to it. So look, I feel it's a good thing if you have balance.
Okay.
I find myself, and I have to really listen to the voice because I find myself comparing, but it's a healthy comparison. At times, not all the time. I don't want to cap it. Be like, no, I gotta help. It depends on where I'm at.
For sure.
There are some people I see doing things, and I'm like, I'm highly motivated because I'm thinking like you. I'm like, bro, I got more juice. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already knowing. Like then I see people doing things, and I'm like, wow, that's really good. It inspires me.
Right.
And I'm in a healthy place now. I used to, you know, they call it dry snitch. I used to do dry hating. Yeah. I used to dry hate. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying? And you was doing something, I wasn't celebrating you.
Right.
Really?
Now I wasn't being like, you act. I wasn't doing that. Just I wasn't joyful. You know what I'm saying? I think I've shared this in previous podcasts. God was like, yo, if you're not celebrating, you hating. My man could be slinging dope. He could be out here hurting people. He doing something positive. Now, if you my partner and you killing it 10 times more what I'm doing, I'm still celebrating you because I know you. But if it was somebody I didn't know, it was like that competitive advantage. But I'm always looking at the gram.
Yeah.
I'm always checking emails. I be getting emails from people like that's in the same like marketing space as me. Like when I might have online courses and programs, I'm screenshotting. I'm looking at the cadence of the email. I'm looking at the GIFs or the GIFs, whatever you call it, that's in there. I'm looking at all the different, how they bold some things. And like my brain, the way my brain is wired, I see it all.
Gotcha.
I wish I could just stay in the styling space, but I'm always in the marketing and the design space as well. And so I'm always measuring, what we're doing compared to what others are doing. Now, I've had people on my team say, man, Jeremy, like what you've accomplished this last year is amazing. Like you should be proud of that. And I'm like, yes, I am. But I know there's more. Like I know people that hit 10x marks from what I've been able to accomplish and what they've done. I'm like, thank you for that. But there's more. So I'm always comparing myself.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't lead me to a place where I feel like I'm not good enough. It just lets me know like, yo, this is what's possible.
Yeah.
So I do think that there is a healthy comparison. You know what I'm saying? One of my homeboys is like father of the year. And I'm just like, bruh, I need to step my fatherhood game up. So I'm comparing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's influence, right? And so, but at the same time, I do want to be cautious because it's like, yo, I have to run my own race. You know what I'm saying? And what I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So there are times in my spirit, I'm like, I'm going to leave the gram alone.
Well, ultimately, you use comparison as an inspiration. Well, the healthy way is to use comparison as an inspiration to accomplish whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, this is what I want to attain. Let's see how do we get there. But oftentimes people don't use it as a inspiration. They use it as kind of like the rule for them not being where they want to be, but they're not asking about the struggles that got them there. They're not asking about sleepless nights. They're not asking about times where they were homeless. The other person, they're just seeing the success and they're like, okay, well, I need to be there too.
Right.
But a lot of times, again, comparison is a very muddy place to be because you don't know how this person got there. You're just seeing the end result and thinking like, I could be there just as fast. Right. And so going back to what I was saying with myself, the only time the comparison sets in when it's like, look, I know that this is a structure of somebody doing it this way, but if I apply my way, it can be 10 times better, right? But I also have to look at, well, what did this person try prior to that? Did they try it your way first? And then end up here? What's the situation? And so I think you good?
Come on, yeah.
Okay. So I think we just have to be cautious about not to get too into why did this person have it and I don't? What makes this person better than me? Because you're not really doing that. You're saying, what is this person done differently that I need to do? And I think you mentioned this on a previous episode.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of comparison. It's like, how do I aspire to be to that next level? How can I learn from this person more so than why them and not me?
Yeah. I think for me, and we had a little conversation yesterday, so I'll just back up off of that, but I really value seeing myself.
Right.
Like seeing myself clearly as I am, not as I want to be, but as I am. Right. Because it gives me a clear picture of what needs to happen to move forward. So when I'm comparing myself, I don't compare with other people to envy nobody or to not celebrate them. I just want to see myself clearly. Right. Because I want to the extent that I really want to make sure that I'm obtaining it. And if I see someone who's obtaining it, especially someone in my proximity, why am I not talking to them to get everything that I need from it? Right. So for me, it's like, if I'm going to compare myself with somebody, why would I look at Eric Thomas when I have mine? You know what I'm saying? So like, I have, and somebody may be like, yeah, E.T. is the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And I'll be like, all right, cool. But I have my #1 motivational speaker in the world that I'm invested in and who's invested in me. Like, I want to compare myself to the person that is going to make sure that I get what I need to get. You know what I'm saying? And so when I compare, I'm sitting here like, I want to make it tangible. This comparison has to benefit me some way. If it does not, I'm not going to waste my time doing it. I would never compare myself to LeBron James in basketball.
In looks, but not basketball.
I don't compare myself in looks. I just said the way people see me.
Right.
I don't think that it's true.
That's what Jesus said. Who did they say I am? He was like, I'm not even out here flexing. Who did they say I am? He wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? He's like, y'all gonna tell me. Yep.
That's why he the GOAT. Because he answer people's thoughts with questions.
Right. He different,
bro. Normally people answer people's questions with statements. He answered people's thoughts with questions. Bro, that was crazy. Yep. I don't know why you just did that.
I'm in spirit.
My point is over. The GOAT has come and gone.
So let's go a little deeper.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking about comparison here, and I feel like comparison can be a good thing depending on where we are. But let me throw a curveball. I think one thing people got to consider is when you're comparing yourself to others, you need to compare apples to apples. You know what I'm saying? Because I could look at somebody and be like, man, they have an online course. Like we have a Speakers Academy community. Right. I could look at someone else and say, well, they have a speakers, community, or they have an online course or something like that. But we might be in different industries. They might have a different vibe than me. They might be on Instagram doing lives every single day. Like, it could be different price points. Like it's so many different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be comparing myself to somebody in the speaking space, but they can be in schools and I could be in corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like some people compare themselves to like, well, how come she got this wife or how come her business is thriving and booming?
Right.
Well, it's like, okay, but you just started your business, baby girl, a year ago. This person been in business for 12 years. So you can't judge her chapter 37 by your chapter 5.
Come on.
And I feel like that's what a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? They looking at where other people are, but like you said, they're not taking into account their sweat equity. They're not taking into account all that they've gone through. So it's like you got to be balanced when it comes to that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna look at you. I see where you are. I'm inspired. I know what's possible, but at the same time, I'm not going to feel less than, or I'm not going to feel like I'm off my mark if I'm not where you are. Because you had way more experience than me. And that's something, that's similar to what you're saying.
Right, that's the other side. Letting it affect your self-esteem or the way that you view yourself as far as potential. That's the negative side of comparison.
Right.
But I think, well, do you feel like you ever experienced the negative side of comparison?
For sure. I compare myself to dudes that work out all the time. I follow like 3 types of people online. People that work out, animals, and what's the other thing? And that's random, right?
Wait, hold on, dog. I'm really trying to stay locked in.
Wait, did I say I compare myself to animals? I mean, I watch 3 things, types of stuff on social media.
Right.
My bad. Well,
but
that's all good. I take my home when I follow it.
Actually, you said I follow 3 types of people.
Oh, I did say that, right?
So you follow animals?
Bro, religiously, bro. I love dogs. You remember we used to have dogs, right? So I follow cane corsos. I follow Boroboros, which is a South African mastiff that I want to get into. And then in wild animals, I relax from watching nature and things in nature. So like when I'm stressed out, I can watch a documentary on lions, tigers, big cats, anything, and I just watch the way they naturally do, and it calms me. Like I love seeing the things because this world is so crazy. I like to get back to what God intended sometimes. I'm like, okay, that's some people just operating in their just natural element. So when I watch it, it puts me at peace. I watch a lot of clips, Discovery, all that type of stuff. So yes, animals. I don't know.
If you want to watch beasts, just watch me more often.
Oh my.
Okay, Toby.
You're not gonna let me have that.
I'm
Chris.
a beast. I'm a
Oh
dog.
my God.
And your father
just because I knew
figure.
what was gonna happen with this side.
Oh, you did?
Come on. What's the third one?
I don't know. Y'all done threw my
You said-
distraction
Bring it
off
back.
so much. I watch. I watch workout people.
Dudes.
I watch
Animals.
You
What's up?
want to say
Fitness
dudes
guys.
real bad?
Because I know you ain't sitting here watching
You
chicks in
watch
bikinis.
You
and
watch fitness
two-pieces.
guys?
I'm
Right.
not. What'd you say? What'd you say? Nope, because they gonna hear it. So
No,
you gotta
I just
repeat it.
said you watch fitness guys. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. So I watched them. Jada, They are in a space right now.
I'm
I'm about to rebuke everything
I
that's going
said
on right
not
here.
a word.
All right. Am I too real for this podcast?
Bro, you follow fitness.
people, like-
you follow fitness.
Okay.
You follow animals.
Things that inspire me, I watch.
Got you.
And fitness people inspire me. What kind? People that work out and do workouts that I don't do.
No. Let me keep 100 with you. Truth be told,
Yeah.
I told Tracy I want to swap out the TV in this room here, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's like a small 32-inch, but it's not a smart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get one a little bigger. That's a smart TV, so that when I'm working out, I can see them hitting that iron. Because I don't have
like
workout
YouTube
partners.
and stuff like
right,
facts.
YouTube. I can beam it right on YouTube
Facts.
and look at Rashad or somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's going hard in the gym because I need that. I need that visual because when I'm in here working out solo, now me and Q working out, it's going to be a different type of grid. If me and you working out, it's going to be a different type of grid.
That's because you're competitive too.
Yeah, facts.
You need that
Because
push.
I'm looking
That
like, bro, I
helps
know
you.
it's possible.
Yeah.
Because I be hitting my little set thinking I'm doing something, and I see my man like, oh, okay, I can go a little harder.
Right.
And that's the comparison.
Yeah.
But I need that.
Is that comparison? I think that's
Yeah,
competitive.
I'm glad you tied that back.
I think
Because
that's
competition is a.
Is competition comparison though?
I feel like there's a hint
You
of comparison.
can't compete if you don't compare.
You can't compete where you don't compare either.
Ooh, yeah.
That I've heard it like that.
So think about it, bro. Kobe, bro, he modeled MJ's game.
That's true.
And he was like, in order for me to compete, I got to compare myself to his game. I'm going to mimic his game,
gotta
and I'm
compare
going to try to
myself.
take it a notch up. And
Gotcha.
so
That makes sense.
Yeah, I do believe that in order for you to compete, you have to compare. You got to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the mark? Okay, that's the mark. That's what's dope. That's what I got to beat. I want to beat that.
And motivation is my last one. I'm like, why can't I come think of my third one? It's because I'm talking about it already. But motivation is my third one. Anything inspirational, anything empowering, anything that's leveling up my mind those are like my three go-to things on social media.
Right.
Period. So when it comes to comparing what I said, like in a negative aspect, I don't know if it's negative. It just makes me see myself. Like when I tell y'all I really live in that space, I have so much confidence, and I think it's because I really see myself. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Like-
and I'm going to say something.
because, bro,
But I'm not trying to be funny.
No, bro, I don't even care if you are. Like, I
But I'm
embrace
not.
it. I think
you
it's
really do see yourself. Like when you told me a few months ago, and when we was on stage at the conference, and for whatever reason, I thought that it would be cool to open up the conference with a chest bump, and you bumped me. You was literally like, "Yo, I don't realize I'm my size."
Now that's true,
right?
So
and I had to give a preface because I didn't want you to think I was trying to be funny. But you solid, but you kind of see yourself as a little bit more slender.
Let me tell y'all right now. I don't know how much. Matter of fact, real quick. No, because I'm gonna put you on the spot, but you got to answer quick. You got 2 seconds.
Are you gonna go back to when you assaulted me on stage?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right, bet.
But you got to answer me. If I ask y'all this question, y'all got to answer. But you get 2 seconds, okay?
Okay.
It's no feelings
Crystal
in it.
first.
Crystal, how much you think I weigh? Quick. 1,
230.
2. How much you think I weigh?
260.
1. Okay, perfect. I weigh 270.
Yikes!
When people,
So even we see you.
So,
you say 230?
I don't know, guys. Wait.
that's
That
cool.
felt good.
But
I'm hearing 230 did to my boy.
I hear it a lot. I think 230, 240 is what people normally categorize me in.
So you hear LeBron James
Because a dude,
you hear 240.
a dude that works out, that's my size normally is like this weight. Like muscle weighs more than fat.
How tall are you? 6'1"?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot. We can't be 6'1" as a flight attendant, so I'm 6 foot.
Really?
No, because I work on a smaller plane. So you can cap out at 6.
Got you.
So managers, I'm good. Don't y'all do this.
Okay? No.
Okay,
You're going to be pivoting to Atlanta soon anyway.
Oh, well, that's not my 2 week notice.
He forgot about that podcast.
That's not my 2 week.
My boy.
I mean,
But
put it in motion.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. But yeah, so what I'm saying is that, bro, when I came into college, I was 163. I hated being little so bad.
I remember.
I remember that?
Yeah.
That I was like, I just can't wait till I'm big enough to where people don't see me as a little dude no more.
So you're saying you don't compare yourself?
No matter how much weight I gain, I still see myself as that smaller version. So I'm like, I can't lose too much. I can't do that. I don't want you back in that space. And people like, Mike, you got a long way for you to get back to that space, buddy.
Right,
you ain't got to worry about being that little guy no more. Like, you are not him. But perception is not how people see you. It's how you see yourself. So even when I'm motivated to go hard in a certain space, it's hard for me to dictate that I am how I really am because of the way that I perceive myself. When people tell me like, Mike, you out of shape, like, bro, you got to get it together, it's just like, there's a little strength under here if you test me.
Right.
But I do need to discipline more habits to get to a certain point to look like somebody
but
else.
But the comparison.
But comparison, I'm safe because I use it to my advantage. I use it to see myself.
Would you say you do the same, Chris? Are you trying to?
Yeah, for the most part, comparison again is like inspiration. It's like, all right, well, this person's doing this. What are the steps that I need to take? I'm not thinking
put you on the spot. Are there a few people that you compare yourself to in the industry that you're in or whatever that you feel comfortable sharing?
You know what? There's people that I look at for sure as inspiration, but as far as...
Like, do you look at them and say, wow, that's what they're doing? I should probably consider that. Or how come I didn't think of that? Or maybe I should take that approach because it's working for them. Like, that's what's going on in my brain.
You know what? For the type of person I want to be in the industry, I don't have any examples of that.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Come here, go
that's
Hartsfield.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's real. I think that's part of the reason why I feel like I do have more of a mission because I see a lane that's it's wide open because nobody's doing it. And it's like, yeah, there's different people doing different responsibilities and job titles and job roles, but nobody is bringing in all that I have to kind of transform the industry in a sense. And so that's what my goal is.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. So when I think about comparison, I feel like depending on where you are in your heart, whether you are in your spirit, where you are in your mental space, it could be a good thing for sure, but it could also be a negative thing because because my heart bleeds for the people that go to the gram and say, man, I wish my hair looked like hers. You know what I'm saying? Or like, man, I wish I was smaller, or man, I wish, how come my house doesn't look like that? Like I be leery sometimes of posting things because I'm like, man, I don't want, saying something. Because you got some folk that's going to be inspired by it. And you got some folk that's going to look at where they are and feel like I'll never get there. So I do feel like it depends on like where you are in your spirit. Just like with social media as a whole.
Yeah.
There are some people that can see somebody, say in a situation, in the car, or whatever, or home and feel like, how come I don't have it? Just like you see somebody on the gram, but you feel like, how come I'm not there? But then you have those who's like, no, I'm inspired by that.
Yeah.
They human just like me. That's my biggest thing. I'm like, bro, they human. They wake up every single morning and get dressed, brush their teeth like the same way I do. They got insecurities. They need love just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that type of person, that's cool. But then there are those that's looking and you're always comparing yourself to other people, or you're wondering like, how does she get that husband? And then but you're comparing how she got that husband and you didn't get a husband, but maybe you're not looking at what she did to get that husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe what she did to get that husband wasn't the right road to take. And he ain't gonna be there forever. Or are you willing, to date my man for 8-9 months, a year before, before you let him smash? Like it's so many different levels to it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when it comes to us saying, okay, I'm gonna compare, you gotta compare and contrast.
But you know what? I think the harshest comparison for me is me comparing myself to my future self. And when I say that, it's like,
yeah, Crystal,
the person that I know that I have the potential to be and where I am now, it frustrates me. I'm like, why am I not there?
Ooh.
Why am I not being better so that I can be at that next phase that I thought I was going to be at this year, this time? Why? And so it's not so much that I'm bothered by other people. It's more so what I have set for myself and if I accomplish it or not.
That's deep.
Do
you see your future self?
Definitely. But I forgot that I see that. I felt that way more than I wanted to. That's the thing that I have to snap myself out of. That's the part that can get negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I know exactly the moments that I took for granted that have kept me from certain spaces.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that way more than I wanted to. That's real. That's a game changer, Crystal.
I don't know if I even see, I'm just soul searching. I don't think I even see my future self. Because honestly, I didn't think I would be where I am today. I literally just be taking cues from God.
Mm-hmm.
I promise y'all, how some people be like, oh, I always knew I'd be here. Man, that was never me. It was a time in my life when I was like, man, if I could just make 6 figures a year, I made it.
Yeah.
Like that for the majority of my life, that was the cap.
Yeah.
Never thought, there were certain milestones that I could hit per month. Never thought I would have, it was one thing to be like, man, one day I can move up into management. But to think that I've got, our own ownership, right, across multiple areas. So that, I think that's still, though it's not new to me, I can't necessarily say like I see that future me. I could get creative and just like imagine, but it's not like something, I'm looking at, but it is something I'm striving for. I mean, that's the fabric of next level living is being better.
It's something too that sits in your spirit. Like, okay, I'm not doing today what I need to be doing. Like I'm not doing, you never feel like I never feel like I'm doing quite enough. It's always like, there's another level and maybe I need to move out of my comfort zone to get to that level. And if I am in any way feeling like I'm stuck in my comfort zone, that's when that future me starts kicking like, no, because this is where you should be, but your comfort level is keeping you here.
Right.
So.
Jay, I honestly think it's actually pretty dope, but I really think that the reason why you can't see yourself in the future is because you brought your future to the present. And so I'm going to just go ahead and drop this bomb real quick. Like,
that's deep, bro.
You may be living in the GOAT status of where I want to be mentally. When you stop comparing yourself, it's because you said something dope. You said, bro, I take my cues from God. God's vision is so much higher than yourself. You just like, yo, listen, at this point, I just want to be so in tune with you. You've already blew my mind with what you've done with my life.
Right.
You've already taken me beyond what I can do. At this point, God, just tell me where we going. Like, let's rock. I'm just a workaholic now. I'm just ready to do what you command.
Yeah.
So God has made you a ruler over many. You know what I'm saying? Because you followed that path that he set forth for you. So for me, it doesn't surprise me when I hear you like, oh, dang, I don't think like that. It made me smile because it let me know like, oh, that's a level I can get to.
A part of me, honestly, man, a part of me was almost thinking like,
Something's wrong.
Something wrong with me.
I could tell.
Like, right when I said that, I looked at Nicole like, what's wrong with me? Like, how come I can't see that future? And again, I can use my imagination.
Of course.
But some people, it's like, nope, I know I can see myself in this place right here. I've never really been there. I just got my head down. I'm just focused. I'm just locked in every single day because I never thought I would be where I am today. Like, I tried it my way and I was losing. I tried it y'all ways, I start winning.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, if I just stay on point, eventually he gonna take me to new heights. Because I don't even know.
Did we
what's
just
best
release
for
some
my life.
people, bro? Like maybe that's the recipe. Maybe that's the recipe to never have to worry about comparing ourselves again. What you say, you just keep your head down, keep working at what it is that we're gifted at. Like at the end of the day, hearing Crystal talk about where she wants to be, for me, knowing Crystal now, like I'm not gonna be as surprised as you are when it happens. Like when it happens for you, you're like, oh man, finally. I'm just like, you already great. Like sometimes you just have to put that time in, or what we say, do our reps in order to do it. Like the fact that you see a lane in an industry that's been so methodical and precise in terms of following other people's steps, and you see this whole path, that's vision. Like you're spewing greatness all the time. And you don't have this loudness or this that me and Jeremy have, but you be dropping bombs. And I listen to you and I'm just like, bro, you crazy.
Here's the crazy thing.
It's going to happen.
You don't even know, man. I know what you told me, and I know you can't talk about it yet. But the opportunities that has been presented to you, I was a little bipolar. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And a part of me was like, no, I can't believe this. I was like, I get it. I see it. You know what I'm saying? And so I wish we could talk about it, but I know we can't.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. Man, that's going to be a crazy podcast too. But I see that. But I'm gonna give a recap. I think it's interesting, bro, that you're at the place where you're like, yep, I know what I got to do to be that future me. I know what adjustments I got to make. You're like, you know what? Go ahead. Yeah,
but also is vision a form of comparison? Because you're visualizing the future, which means you have to compare it to the present, right?
Absolutely.
And so with you're gifted in vision because you can see, okay, when you wanted to start your curriculum and you want to start all these other things, you had to compare it to your current self and say, well, this is what I don't have now, and this is where I need to go. So maybe you look at comparison differently because you're a visionary, like completely.
So I never even thought about it that way. I've always just kind of been like, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna get the work done. But what you're saying when it comes to like that vision and comparison, it's like, okay, yes, it's levels to it, right? It's a healthy comparison. It's an unhealthy comparison. Majority of the time we compare ourselves to other people, but then sometimes we compare ourselves now to the old self.
Right.
And then we compare ourselves now to where we know we can be in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it's interesting that you're like, there's nobody really in the industry that you're in that you would say, I compare, or I'm going to look to you to take cues. You're like, that's cool. But I'm really going to pave my own path.
Right.
But on my end, I'm seeing folks in different industries I'm in, and I'm like, I like that blueprint. I like that. That makes sense. I can make some adjustments. Like, it's so different for everybody.
Yeah.
And if I can just give our final recap takeaway, like wherever you are in your life, like whatever you got going on, I feel like it's important where you do an audit, right, of your heart.
Yeah.
If you find yourself on the gram or other places and comparing and you getting off feeling like you less than, that's a problem. Like you need to shut that thing down. Now, if you get off the gram or whatever and feel like, man, I should be a better wife, you different, right? If I could be a better businessman, maybe I should be living below my means. If you don't look at other people are doing and feel like, well, I got to post something so I just feel glorified, you know what I'm saying? Or you comparing your worth. If you compare your worth to how many comments or likes you get, like that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, let me keep it 100 with y'all. When it comes to us posting content, I look at the likes, I look at comments, not for I feel better, but what's talking to my community? What's hitting and what's not? What can they relate to? What do they don't relate to? It's a healthy approach. I'm not sad like, man, they didn't like my video. I thought it was motivational. I'm just more so like, how come my audience didn't connect with it? Was it the time of day? Was it because it was posted at 11 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock in the morning? Like that's the way my brain is wired, right? So to all y'all listening, look out for the negative comparisons, but you should be comparing yourself to your future. And if you like me, and you're not quite sure what your future looks like, you just
Get it out.
Thank you, my boy. Always got my back.
Oh yeah, for
my
sure.
Man. Yeah.
And your tongue.
Yeah, for sure. Keep taking your cues from God. You know what I'm saying? And let him kind of navigate that path and go from there. And I feel like that's kind of what's got me where I am. I got a healthy perspective. I'm watching, I'm peeping game. I'm seeing what it is. I'm seeing what adjustments I got to make. I'm willing to make those adjustments. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but what do I got to do internally? What tweaks do I got to make so I can get to that next level? And even though I don't know what that future looks like, I've been getting some glimpses. Like I'm getting some glimpses of that conference we have with 3,000 people. Like I'm getting glimpses of our next level, you know what I'm saying, living conference or our next level speakers conference with 2,500 people in there and the fire and the smoke and the flames and all of that. Like I'm getting glimpses, you know what I'm saying, of that. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, man, who do I got to become to be worthy of that? Who do I got to become to be able to manage that? Like, who do I got to become? So that's why I'm studying the greats. That's why I sit at the feet of giants. That's why I'm reading, I'm praying, and I've got to do more growing, which we talk about in other podcasts, so that I can make sure that I can be trusted with that. Because I believe that God will bless you with what he can trust you with.
What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Now it's time to get the merch. Go to shopnextlevel.co. In the promo code, put podcast and get you 20% off. All right, see you next week.
I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.